Hello, I'm Julia Johnson, founder and creator of the Novi-Chi system, and today I'm here to educate you about electromagnetic frequencies and how they work in our body. Well, all energy is electromagnetic in nature, and nothing happens in the body without an electromagnetic exchange between the cells. We're all familiar with the EKG and the EEG tests. They measure electromagnetic activity of the heart and the brain. When electromagnetic activity ceases, life ceases. Electromagnetic energy controls our body chemistry, and disruption of this energy in cells causes impaired cell metabolism, and if our cells are not healthy, our body's not healthy. So this first video is an introduction into the Novi-Chi system. The Novi-Chi system uses electromagnetic fields moving through a coil and pulsating electromagnetic frequencies using LED light. So what is an electromagnetic field? Well, if you've ever tried to hold two magnets in your hands and tried to force them together and felt a resistance between them, then you have experienced an electromagnetic field. The Earth has its own magnetic field produced by fluxes of molten core in the core of the planet. And the presence of this field is what causes a compass to rotate to the north. A changing magnetic field, such as a magnet moving through a coil, generates an electrical field which would drive a current in the coil. So essentially our body also has an electromagnetic field around it. We have energy that moves, comes into us, and we have energy that moves out of us. So we are essentially like the Earth, or like a coil, in that we are both electrical and magnetic. Electromagnetic field is a physical field produced by electrical moving charges. It affects the behavior of any other charged objects in the vicinity of the field. So that's why we can say such and such a person has a good vibe. They walked into the room and the whole energy of the room changed because they are pulsating a higher frequency. So pulsating electromagnetic fields or pulsating light can improve circulation and cell metabolism. It's really quite dynamic. A pulsating field, an electrical magnetic field, is able to penetrate all the way through the body by the way of the living matrix and causes a cascade of effects within the body. So what is the living matrix? Our new view of the living matrix arose from an important discovery made by a number of cell biologists. And the person that had the most effect on me with this was a man by the name of James Oshman, a very, very brilliant man who has done a lot of study to prove why energy medicine works. Well, what we've come up with, and what he's come up with, is that the fibers and filaments of a cell do not end at the cell membrane. Instead, they extend across the cell membrane and connect to other cells. Now, this is classically referred to as connective tissue. So inside each cell, elements of the cytoskeleton attach to the nuclear envelope and therefore connect to another matrix called chromatin. So these little hair-like projections go into the center of the cell as well and fill up the nucleus and even touch the DNA. Even the mitochondria, or the tiny powerhouses within the cell, have these hair-like projections. Hence, the body as a whole, the organs, the tissues, the organelles, including the nucleus and the strands of genetic material called the DNA, can be viewed as a continuous and unbroken fabric, or a matrix within a matrix within a matrix. We refer to this continuum as the connective tissue, the cytoskeleton, or simply the living matrix. So now we can understand how an electrical magnetic field affects the behavior of anything with electrical charge in the vicinity. So as I mentioned, our bodies are electric. And they are magnetic and electric. Every heartbeat generates an electromagnetic wave throughout the blood vessels of the body and stimulating the tissues at a cellular level within the living matrix. And as a result, magnetic fields act in basic and fundamental ways on molecules and tissues. So when you think about this whole idea of electromagnetic fields being something new, they're not new. We're very, very familiar. In fact, we generate electromagnetic fields. It's what we do as a living being. So the fascinating aspect of the living matrix is that a vibration introduced at one point. So if we have a vibration that's introduced, let's say at this point, and that energy moves through here, it's quickly conducted throughout the entire system. The living matrix has the ability through the entire network to generate and conduct vibrations. So a magnetic field passing through our whole body can have an electromagnetic effect on each of our 70 trillion cells. So an external magnetic field, such as our magnet, our coil in the Novici system, has the power to reach in and touch these hair-like projections, which are made of ions, proteins, and ion elements. And that way it can interact directly with the electromagnetic fields that already exist in our body. When you project an electromagnetic frequency into the living matrix, that frequency renders information to all the cells in the affected area and beyond. Novici frequencies are designed to imprint the cells with specific patterns of health. Each frequency has been designed with a purpose and an intention, and through years of scientific research and data, certain hertz have been known to produce certain results. It is through this immense research and our own testing that these frequencies have been designed.